Hi there, fellow loom knitters. Today we're going to focus in on design options. How you can change a basic, vanilla, nothing fancy sweater and make it into something that will suit you or the person you're knitting it for. So we're going to make some slight changes to the basic design and we're going to give you some options and hopefully give you some confidence on how to make those changes and implement what you've learned. There are several different design options to choose from, and it is primarily the knitter's choice. Today we're going to look at the neckline, the cuffs, and the hemline. Now, it all begins with your yarn of choice, and today I'm going to show you three different design options with three different yarn choices as well. And afterwards, I'm going to go into the yarn choices and all the things I learned from the yarn choices, some of them not so good. But I'll share that with you, and together we're going to level up.
The idea behind the Vanilla series is to provide the knitter, you, with just the basics of a pattern, the math. So as long as you stick with the math, everything else is up for grabs. Sleeves, hems, colors, whatever. Now, I'm going to use the Vanilla Raglan, a recently released pattern, and it is a needle knit quality, and I used the Flexee Loom in order to achieve that. And I just want to make it very abundantly clear, you have to have this loom in order to recreate the sweater. And the reason is because there's increases in the round that can only be done using the Flexee Looms. There is another video which I'll link to at the end. But this is the loom that you must have to make the needle knit quality that you're looking for. Anyway, I have created three different options, and well, let's take a look. Let's begin with the short sleeve style. After selecting a metallic yarn and pairing it with a lace weight mohair with sequins, I do like my bling, I soon realized I wouldn't have enough of the metallic yarn for a 3/4 sleeve, and I had to amend it to short sleeves. I then chose a complementary sparkly yarn for all the trim in an effort to save even more of the metallic yarn, just in case. After that, I was inspired to create a cowl neck with longer ribbed cuffs to match. Also, I found a couple of small balls of cool sparkly yarn and thought, hey, why not? So I did a color change, but only for the yoke. And I must say, it turned out way better than I had thought it would. A pleasant surprise. And finally, the cream colored long sleeve option with a crew neck. This is the most basic or vanilla of all the designs, and I added an inch to the ribbed hemline just to keep it in place better on my body. Having said that,
Now, some people may not want ribbing on the hemline, and they will split the sweater. So instead of having the hemline going all around, when it comes to the side seams, you're going to actually split and you're going to work the front and the back. So you can have a higher front and a lower back, or the reverse is also true. You can have a longer front and a higher back. So, I mean, if you've got a fancy pocket or some kind of design feature at the back and you want to show that off, have a more cropped backside and a longer front. Or you can keep them the same, but I know that the current style is a shorter front and a longer back. And again, you decide, so you become the designer. So up close, these are the three yarn selections that I chose for the three examples I just showed you. So taking a look at the first one, the light blue, this was a metallic yarn with paired with a mohair sequin. So the sequins were actually part of the yarn. I did not add those sequins as I went. Please, who's got time for that? Anyway, so let me just hold it up against. So these are the two yarns, and this was the mohair. It has the sequins built in, and this was the metallic. You can see it's a thicker yarn, but I wanted to call your attention to the metallic because it's got a a piece of fuzz on it, it's not a very durable yarn. And that was very frustrating. So, I mean, I think it knit up amazing. It slid across my loom. It was just awesome to knit with. And I love the look of it, but it's not a durable yarn, so it's not very practical. So I don't think I would use this one again as a main fabric. But that's my opinion. Obviously, you do you. You're the designer here. So the next yarn that I chose was the black. I did pair it with a gray, I think the color was called hematite, and it had a sparkle to it. Let me just see if you can, yeah, there it is. Okay, so you can see it catching the light. And even though the gray was a thicker yarn and it did add some bulk to the yoke, it didn't change the gauge at all, which was nice. And this was an option that I chose to add a second color to the yarn. Because what I did learn was with the cream, and this one has like a little bit of a sheen to it, so it's kind of shiny. Um, when I put it through the Skinny Loom, one strand was all I needed. So in effect, I'm using half as much yarn when I make anything using the Skinny Loom because the gauge is smaller. So it was really nice, quite the surprise that I only needed one strand of that yarn. Something I forgot to mention was this one strand of yarn is actually a medium weight. Number 4, I think could be a DK. Uh, not quite Aaron. Aaron's a little too thick, but all you need is the one strand. And as I said, it was number 4 on the ball band. But the hard lesson I learned from this yarn was it was actually on sale. So I bought quite a bit of it. And it wasn't until after I finished the sweater that I noticed the manufacturer must have used a soft gray on all the machines when they were rolling it up. Because after I tried it on, I noticed there was a gray speck here and a gray speck there and over there. And I'm thinking, okay, I just tried it on. I just made it. I haven't spilled coffee. What the heck? Well, the last color on the loom or on the machine, whatever it's called, must have been a soft gray because when it knit up, 1 or 2 stitches came out with a spot of gray because one strand out of the 4, because it's a 4-ply yarn, one of the strands was a soft gray. So the lesson that I learned was when you're buying a yarn that's on sale, make sure you buy a little bit darker. Don't go with white. Don't get a cream. Get a little bit of a darker color. So that way, whatever color the manufacturer had on the loom previously, not going to matter because you're not going to see it. You're welcome. So as you can see, those small changes, the color of the yarn that you choose, the collar, the type of collar that you select, the length of the cuff that you choose, the hemline, whether it's long, short, split, doesn't matter. Those small things make a drastic difference in the look and the outcome of your sweater. By the way, if you'd like to get the full pattern to the Vanilla Raglan, click on the link below to my Ravelry page. So just to be clear, you can make these or choose these design options with most patterns. Not all of them, but most of them. And that's the whole idea behind creating something yourself. You put your own spin on it and make it in your favorite color. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You'd have to frog it and start again. It's as much about the journey as it is the destination. So one of my girlfriends, she says, "Ooh, you get to play with the yarn all over again." Yeah, I'm not quite there yet, but you know, I'm getting there. Besides, frogging makes a better story anyway. Now, if you found this video helpful at all, by all means, please like and subscribe. And leave a comment. Let me know what you would change about a basic sweater pattern. Let me know what floats your boat using your creative juices. So until next time, I'm Stacey from Stitches by Stacey. And remember, try and deliberately learn something new and have the confidence to implement what you've learned. Thanks for watching.